Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is another episode of Metal on a Budget, and today we are celebrating the 100th episode of Metal on a Budget on YouTube. So with that being said, let's dive into my entire guitar collection. Alright, let's start with the first guitar, and that would be a Kramer from the 80s. I'm not exactly sure the model on this. I got this when I was super young, I think in like 7th grade, and I graduated in 2013. So yeah, I've had this thing for a long time now. It's 2025, and I managed to keep this thing almost in one piece over the years. I just recently put this pick guard on here just to jazz it up, make it look a little better in the corner where I have it setting. It has legitimate wear and tear on it. It had a thick coat of gloss, but from day one that crack's been there. You know, it's been smashed up and it still hasn't broke. It's not all the way through, I don't think, but yeah, just because it has a big old crack, it has lasted everything. Many other things have fallen apart on this guitar before that has been a concern. I got this guitar from a pawn shop for my uncle, and for about 75 bucks. It was never a good playing guitar, but for 75 bucks you could still rock and jam out on it. If I known what I know now about guitars, I could have probably got it set up pretty good, especially if I use like these pickups. I don't know, let me know down in the comments if you want to see this thing play once again. On to the next. This is a Kramer Striker from 2005, owned by Gibson. The last one I showed you was owned by ESP, and then Gibson actually bought them out. But this is a Kramer Striker with your locking and floating trim. You get a 5-way toggle switch, push-pull, cool tab. You get single coils, humbucker, and these are the quad buckers, or the quad rail pickups, and it's a licensed Floyd Rose, but it is a Kramer stamp on it, which I actually really like that. It does all the flutters and all the good jazz. It's a great budget-friendly instrument. I think I got this one for like 250 bucks. Overall, I have just had a lot of fun playing it. It is a workhorse for sure. Only one issue that I've had is the pickup likes to just kind of stick up, but I think I've gotten it under control. I need to still pull that out and glue that pickup together. It kind of came apart, but it still works, and I don't use the middle one a whole lot. I use the neck. I do like a single coil neck pickup. That's one of my favorite configurations. HSS, yeah. So humbucker, single coil, yeah, HSS. Just got like the sparkly paint job. Actually, shout out to Kelly, the lead guitarist for Skipping Stone, sold this to me, and I really appreciate it because it has everything I could ask for. Maple neck, 24 frets, single coil, humbucker, cool tap, push-pull, whammy, just all the bells and whistles. I've always wanted a guitar like this growing up, and to be able to actually have one makes me very, very pleased. I had to buy a back plate for it. I got that over at Maxwell's House of Music. But overall, this thing feels like a professional model guitar. Love it. And let's go to the next. All right, I have one more Kramer for you guys. And if you guys watch the show, then you've seen some of these guitars for sure. I just recently got this one on trade, so I haven't really paid much into the guitar itself when it comes to the upgrades or anything like that. This guitar came this way. But this is a Kramer ST100, built and made in 1988. Love this guitar, made in USA. Another ESP version. I need to get a back plate and then upgrade these springs to the noiseless springs. But it's already got the oversized, or the brass block oversized thing here. So it's been upgraded. Do I feel a difference compared to the other guitars? Not really. Not gonna lie, I don't feel much of a difference. Love this trim. This is a Floyd Rose 2, and it looks like it has little rollers in it. and that makes it for a really smooth whammy. I really do like that. Very cool. Has the sideways Seymour Duncan Black Winter pickup in it, and such a nice guitar. I love playing this. And while it's sitting here, if you had to pick one, which one would you go with? Gibson Air or ESP Air? I think both of them play pretty much the same. Don't feel much difference other than some aesthetics, like more pickups, less pickups. Only downfall to this one's 22. This one's 24. So, yeah, let's move on to the next. This is an Ibanez RGKP6. And this is like a modular Ibanez. So it has some modular thing that goes here. And then these two would plug into that. And then you would plug this into there. I'm not really sure what that is. If I plug this into there, I don't know. It really doesn't do anything. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out this guitar once I find the module. So if you know where to get one of these or have one just laying around collected dust, I would love to get this guitar playing. I didn't pay for this one. Ethan, an amazing guitar player, and once he gets his YouTube established and stuff, I'll definitely send you links and stuff once we get further down the road. But he actually gave this guitar to me. I don't really plan on keeping it. I want to fix it up, get it playing, do a video on this, and if he sees this video, then it's not a surprise, but I would like to surprise him and actually give this back to him in working condition. That's the goal for this instrument. My main thing with taking this guitar in was I wanted it to be on the channel because it's not something you see too often now, especially since it's been a while since these have been made, and I do not think they make these anymore. But it had like a Korg multi-effects, had like distortions, and it's got all kinds of little things. My thought is if I couldn't ever get a hold of the thing, I could part it out, but I don't know much about this instrument, and I want to keep it all original until I can either find the module or maybe route it and upgrade it if it's worth doing something like that. Only Ibanez in my collection at the moment, unfortunately, but it's very cool. I love the pitting on the guitar. It reminds me of an iron label. The neck is super thin. Definitely one of the thinner ones. Has a weird, it's kind of weird on the back of the neck where it's flat and not a volute. Go ahead and jump to the next one. All right, we got this parts caster here. It's a Fender Eric Clapton Blackie custom shop deal. That Kramer from the first guitar that I showed you, that was the original pick guard and pickup selection for this instrument. It had the noiseless pickups in it, but they had changed it out for the passive EMG. It doesn't say HZ on it, but it's silver, so I'm assuming it's a newer HZ EMG. Single volume input jack, maple neck, standard Fender look. And man, for this thing looking like some like Layla or any Eric Clapton song, this thing's a metal monster. I mean, it really is. I can see why Jim Root really liked these Fenders. They're fun to play. They're lightweight, and they just make you feel like a classic professional, I guess. But yeah, I love this guitar. It's another one I got on trade along with that red 1988 Kramer. Yeah, I actually want to sell this one for a decent price. It's going to be fairly cheap to get a hold of because I don't know anything about it, and I just want to be able to buy more gear for the channel. I love it. I hate that I have to sell it. I'm going to regret it, but it is what it is. It's metal on a budget, and this thing just looks way too expensive. On to the next. A classic OG on this channel. This is the Dean Avalanche. It has been upgraded to a Seymour Duncan Blackout with a single volume knob. This pickup is just for looks. I thought about filling this in, but I got this guitar for about 200 bucks. I got it at a pawn shop and have absolutely used this thing for a workhorse. It reminds me of a Ernie Ball guitar in a sense, with the headstock and just the body shape. And then obviously the sparkly green. This is the green bean guitar. I do have it up for sale, but I really don't want to get rid of it. It's just been such a good, reliable instrument. When I came back into the music and started playing shows again, I actually was the first one I brought out on stage and played some local venues with it. Got some really cool pictures that has been nice to have for a way to remember those times and how much fun it was to just to be out there doing it and just having fun with it, not making a dime, but the experience is worth more than a penny, you know what I mean? And this guitar has a lot of that. But yeah, I got it for 200 at a pawn shop, taking some damages, but overall in really good shape for being a used guitar from 2002, I think. Yeah, 2002. Next. Okay, this is, I always say they're all my favorite guitars. I like guitars. They're a piece of art. They're actually really cool to look at other than just playing them. I prefer to play them more than looking at them, so they do get used and abused. This one I think came with some markings on it. Yeah, that came with it, but this is one of my favorite guitars. It's a Schecter 006 Elite. Has the gold tone overwound, basically a JB, a knockoff JB Seymour Duncan with the zebra look, and it goes pretty good with the inlay. And it's the first Schecter and the only Schecter Elite that I've actually ever owned. And man, is it a joy to play. It's fun. It's got that classic tone. It's got one of those set necks, which, hey, it feels great. It doesn't feel too shabby. And I love the top on this thing. Very pretty. And I've used this one for a show or two as well. Love this guitar. Very fun to play. And has the push, pull, cool tap, three-way toggle switch. And really not much else to say. Some people don't like a finished neck. I personally like a finished neck. I like uniform in my instrument, and seeing that it's uniform all the way across the board makes me happy. Do I like a sanded neck? Sure, yeah, it feels great. Does it hinder my ability to play the instrument? Not really. Not in my opinion. If it really feels so tacky, then I can just use the fast fret stuff put on there and it'll slick it up. But normally I'm sweating when I'm playing these instruments, either when I'm performing on stage or at practice, or even in my bedroom. I'll play the set like I'm going to play the show. So yeah, love this guitar. Love the body shape of the 00 series. And yeah, let's jump on to the next one. All right, another Schecter. We have a 007. So this is a 7-string model. It's not an Elite, but this is still a heavy hitter. Diamond inlays, which they're pretty cool. I don't mind them. I'm used to them. I grew up on diamond. Just regular standard setup, volume, tone, three-way toggle. I love the bridge on this one. Very modern metal. Schecter 006. I got that on a trade. It was just one of those things I didn't think was going to happen, but the guy actually was down. So traded a piece of gear for that one. This one is my cheapest guitar on the channel so far at $100 straight down. $100 off Facebook Marketplace. He brought it to my place of work and sold it to me for $100. I guess he needed money bad. And this was the first 7-string I bought and started back into heavier metal. So I bought the Dean as a backup guitar. This was going to be my main player at the time. I ended up having some issues and ended up using the other guitar over this one. I got those issues fixed. I do play this one a lot, and I love playing it. So it's got the jumbo Grover tuners, which back in the earlier 2000s, you'd see that a lot over the locking tuners. They quite weren't there yet. But this one was built in 1999. The other one was built in 02. And so they're fairly close in age. This one's taken some beatings. A big old dog got into the practice spot where we're at, a big old pit bull, which it was a nice pit bull. It just hit it with its tail, knocked it over on a table. But I kind of filed it a little bit and sanded it, and it doesn't bother me now. It's not a deal breaker. Guitars don't have to be perfect to be played, and this is a prime example of that. Love it. Very cool guitar. 006, 007s. The 00 series is one of my favorites. It's just a unique body style that you don't see very often. Very cool guitar. On to the next. All right, I got the C7 Plus Schecter. And man, oh man, I hate touching this guitar. Like, I just cleaned it and restrung it for a video coming up. But this one was built in 1999 as well. Same as that 007. Cream binding. I just put these cream. I actually aged these myself. I threw these outside on accident, and they were out in the mud, and they aged naturally. So it's an actual aged, and I think it really works well with the look of this instrument, having a little bit of this tannish cream up here, and ow, that hurt. That poked me in the finger. But yeah, such a beautiful guitar. I mean, this one was a pain. These are the medium Grover frets or tuners. Sorry, spacing out here. But love the inlays, love the color, the fade, and just an amazing playing guitar. It took me a while to set up, but I absolutely love this guitar. And story time. I don't want to get any blood on my guitar. I poked myself up here. But story time. I bought this from a pawn shop, and I put it in layaway, and I'd pretty much paid it completely off. I had one more payment left of like $50 or $100, and I go in there to do my payment, and they messed the paperwork up on it apparently, and actually put this thing back out on the shelves on my last payment. So I did what any normal person would do, is I picked the guitar up and I said, hey, I have all the paperwork, look here, blah blah blah. They fought me on it, and I said, you know what, I don't even care, just take my money. I gave them $400. So basically I have $800 in this guitar, so I'll never sell it, just for the simple fact that I got ripped off by a pawn shop. So you can tell I'm shaking my leg and everything. I got ripped. I probably have set $600, almost $700 in this guitar, and originally it was $400. So I treat this one with a lot of care, and I still play the heck out of it. Screw it, I'm gonna play them. Got some belt rash on this one, I believe, just a little bit. That's for me, actually, because I play it so much. Oh, look at all the fingerprints now. Dang, dude. It's all good. I'll clean it back up. That's what she's for. I think that nick was already there. But yeah, very sweet guitar. I absolutely love it. I want to upgrade some stuff on it eventually, and this is just pure art right here. I don't know why I like this guitar so much, but it's such a good guitar. It makes me feel like a professional to play it, and having that red color with the binding, it really just, it does something. It's got like a classic modern metal vibe to it, and I love it. I love it. Compared to the other C plus stuff that I've had, this one's very unique. All right, well, on to the next. All right, my last guitar, and one of my favorites. Very nice. I got this for $500 on Marketplace, and it was just one of those dream guitars growing up that I never could pay for, never had access to. So in good fashion, on what Metal on a Budget does, is we wait. We hydrate, but we wait until some of these instruments go down in price to where they've been used, abused, and then that's where I come in. I scoop my favorite instrument that I always wanted to have, even though they're outdated now compared to what everybody else is playing. But I don't care what other people are playing. I like what I like, and I like stuff with a bunch of stuff on it. Binding, different weird inlays, pickups, bunch of knobs that I don't ever use hardly. I try, but it's just not very effective all the time. It does work. You can get some cool stuff out of it for like clean stuff, but for high gain stuff, not really necessary. Killer guitar, just amazing. Can't go wrong. This was a B stock instrument along with quite a few other instruments that are nicer that you've seen. They're actually B stock instruments, so I get them cheaper and they play just as good as any other instrument. So this one was B stocked for this. And they put the label over it, which it still has the original one under it for these, but some of them cut out 3 of the numbers. So, yeah, love this guitar. Don't be afraid to use something that's used because it still has plenty of life. I've been using the heck out of this thing for many years now. Had some crazy wild shows with it. Lots of memories with this one. And yeah, absolutely can't get enough of it. Love the whammy. Just, it's got all the bells and whistles. It's like pro model stuff here, but on a budget. To be able to get something like this for under $500 is what Metal on a Budget is all about, and what I want to get into more as this series progresses. So yes, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button for all the latest content, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day.